All right, guys. So I have another quick video that I wanted to make. I guess this one's more dedicated towards the Titan community. I was in the Discord whenever the orb token had released. A lot of people were wondering exactly what LP was or how to make it, when they needed to make it, and things like that. So I figured, I'd ask some people if they wanted me to make a video because I have an actual thing about liquidity pool that I just filmed today. I think it'd be better that I just show you how to make an LP with your BNB and orb. You can apply this to any two tokens that you want to build liquidity for. Obviously, tomorrow, I just want to clarify some stuff that I hear a lot of questions on. One of those was like, what are the APRs going to be? I have another video about how APRs are calculated, but it's important to know that the APRs will not be able to be told to you by the devs or anybody because it takes a lot of factors in. The multiplier that you're seeing, the 60x on the BNB orb, there's a certain amount of arbitrary allocations that go to every single pool. So if I have a reward pool of 10 million orb tokens in the contract, you have an emission schedule and how many orb you want to give to each pool, and that's done by arbitrary amounts as long as it has a max amount of like 80, and then you break down 80 with each farm, one being like 20, maybe another one's more important, so you do a 30x. But those multipliers are arbitrary. They're just there for a guidance on kind of where the priority went to with that farm token. So more orb is actually going to be given out for the orb BNB pool, and that's pretty common practice because obviously the DEX token needs liquidity and it's going to incentivize itself first. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you how quick and easy it is to really just pop in here and make LP tomorrow whenever the farms go live. So if we're looking at it, I'm on the orbital swap. I have a couple orb. I went ahead and made the transaction, even though it's extremely low liquidity right now because of course farming hasn't opened. There's no incentive to LP this early, so people are just kind of waiting that out. But really, it's a really simple process. You're just going to go to liquidity, and they'll probably even have a more simple way to do this right from the farm page. But I'm just showing you how to kind of do it right here on what they give us. So if you didn't see what I did, let me just go back. Instead of doing swap, I went to liquidity, and then I'm going to add liquidity. I'm going to do BNB and orb. And obviously, it's going to give you all of this stuff. Let me make sure I connect my wallet. I guess that would be pretty important. So let me do that real quick. All right, so we're going to do, so it's important to also know, which I made a video about. I highly recommend just going to check that out. But a liquidity pool is just a 1-to-1 ratio of tokens at that time. So if there's 1,000 BNB in there and there's 10 million orb is going to be lower valued than if there's 10,000 BNB in there and 10,000 orb tokens. That means that 1-to-1 ratio of orb to BNB would be equal, and so orb would equal the price of BNB at that point. So it's all this push and pull that auto market makers use. It's really not important, I guess, whenever you're wanting to farm with it, to understand those dynamics maybe as intricately as you need to. But it is important that you understand that there is a risk involved, and that's impermanent loss. If one coin goes up significantly, you're not exposed to the full profit of that coin. If it goes down significantly, you're actually cushioned depending on what you're. So if orb tanks and you have orb and BNB didn't really move that much, well, then you're kind of cushioned on that end as well. So LP has all kinds of benefits, pros and cons, but obviously farming is the go-to with them. So you make liquidity pool tokens, which takes your 2 tokens and gives you back a certain amount or a certain percentage. And then you put those into farms and you're able to, reward yourself with orb or whatever else it is. So this is as easy as it is. It has to be a 1-to-1 ratio. So use your cheaper coin or the one you have less of. I use 9.92. It's going to automatically calculate the 1-to-1 ratio of it. You click supply, confirm supply, and I'm feeding this for absolutely no reason. But again, you should not be doing this until farms are incentivized, because right now there is a lot of bots that are going to be trading this coin with low liquidity, and you'll likely, put yourself in danger of losing. So I really wouldn't recommend it. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm it. And confirm it on my screen again. I'm sorry, I have a hardware wallet. So there it is. Just give it a second to go ahead and confirm this, and I'll show you exactly what it is. And boom. So I've made the liquidity pool. You can see it right here. Oh, look, they already have them open. So we could actually pre-stake. I'm sorry, I completely made a mistake. So I can enable, and then I can deposit. So it'll be those two transactions there. You have to enable the farm, and then you can deposit into it. And again, there's the 60x, the 15x, the 6x. This is just all showing you where they're allocating the most orb BNB combo, or the most orb to these rewards, because all of these reward orb, obviously. So just kind of focus on that. Realize, that the APRs are going to be constantly adjusting. Obviously, these are showing at 42,000 APR with a daily calculator of who knows. But they do have this really nice return of interest calculator. But yeah, that's all you really need to know. If you want to know how to do impermanent loss and kind of what a liquidity pool is, if you're not comfortable, again, just check out my video. I think I do a pretty good job of understanding it for most people. But I wanted to show people that were new to LPing, if they were comfortable already in Titan or Orb or BNB or whatever, that you can go in here, make LP pools really easy. And then also goes to the exact same. You can go to liquidity, and it's going to show you there. You can remove it, and then it'll take those 2 tokens back to you. It may be a different amount depending on the price swings, but that's it. That's exactly what you do to get your LP tokens. Get ready for these farms. Orb went all over the place on launch, but it's settling down now. Just be careful with it because it is an inflationary asset, and those farms are going to be printing at the very beginning. So just make sure you're doing research. If you're making an entry, I would recommend that you farm it. These tokens are supposed to be farmed. I highly recommend farming it unless you're trying to trade it, which is, in my opinion, very risky as well. But, it's your decision. I'm just here to explain how to do something. So if you took some time out and watched my video, I really appreciate it. If you want anything else, just let me know. Thank you.
1, 2.